Good evening, guys, and sorry for the delay. They made some changes to YouTube, so struggling to get everything up and running, but yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, round 9 and 10 of the Vivid IT Touring Car League, all the way from Fakiza. Good evening, guys, and sorry for the delay. Sorry, there we go. So that seems to be working. Yeah, anyway, so the guys up on grid. We'll cross over to the live stream just now. Looking at the grid slots, Kian Gous, they're taking pole position. A very hearty welcome back to Rian Scholz, who takes second place in a Subaru. Rian van der Westhuizen in another Subaru taking in third place. Christo Maintjes in fourth place. So the top four all Subarus. It did seem like during qualifying that the Fakiza track actually favours these cars with the long fast sweeps. Then Arie Venter, the first of the front wheel drives in a Honda Civic, followed by JP Duffy in an Astra, Chantal de Jager there in a Ford Focus, Marco Knudsen another Astra, Mike Ramsey putting up a good show coming in 9th place, Martin Maintjes there taking 10th place, Gary Fleming 11th place on the grid, Andre Serrario 12th place, Adrian Gous 13th, Tian Eberson 14th, Tony Rust 15th. So that's the 15 cars lining up for this race. Would have been nice to have seen all 18 drivers, but 3 drivers unable to attend. And yeah, as I said, this is Group 2. They will do their 2 heats, and they will then be followed by Group A, which is going to come up right after this. I just want to get the volume sorted here, guys. As I said, we had some hiccups, so just let me know if the volume on the cars are too loud, and I will turn it down. A lot of updates happening on YouTube and OBS as well. So yeah, we're going to cross over the guys already on grid, and I hope you enjoy this one. Stay tuned for all 4 races. It should be some good races, and yeah, as we zoom in there, we're going to try and stick with this view here and see what's happening here. Just quickly want to get back into this. Okay, you see the cars lining up there, guys. Just had to get that sorted. On board there with Rian van der Westhuizen. We're going to go to the pack, head of the pack, and we see the guys revving up. Lights coming off. 13 laps to go. Let's see what happens here. It's Kian Gous, Rian Scholz next to each other. Let's see what Rian van der Westhuizen can do. Next to him is Christo Maintjes. Following them is Arie Venter, JP Duffy, Marco Knudsen, Mike Ramsey, and Adrian Gous getting a good start there in the rear-wheel drive car. So not looking too bad to all. As I said, guys, just give me a heads up on the volume here. I'm not sure how it is going, if you can hear me, whether everything is going fine. But yeah, we're going to cross in, and a lot of action happening here. We see Arie Venter there on the outside of Christo Maintjes. Christo Maintjes still in 4th place, so the lead has not changed, with Kian Gous still in the lead, followed by Rian Scholz and Rian van der Westhuizen. They're looking on the inside of Rian Scholz, going for a move there. We're going to wait this to play out a bit. Still the guys, all of them within a second of each other. Oh, and we've got some contact there. We see Chantal de Jager just about getting through there, but we just saw the back end of quite a big incident. Not sure what happened there. We'll have to go into replays afterwards and see what exactly did happen there. But yeah, the guys up and at it and giving it their best. So let's go with it and see how it is. And yeah, some hooting and tooting going on there. The guys having fun. But still, Rian Scholz there on the rear bump of Kian Gous. Kian Gous and Rian both on a welcome back drive. Haven't been in the seat for quite some time, so glad to see these guys back. Rian van der Westhuizen falling back ever so slightly, but he's got Christo Maintjes on his rear bumper. And look at that, Arie Venter right up there with Christo. So that's the 3-car battle for 3rd place. And yeah, Arie's struggling there, but with a lot of understeer, and that's going to allow JP Duffy to get right up onto the rear bumper. Well, he's actually passed Arie. And oh, I think we have lost it. Yes, you can see the disconnect there. We have lost Arie Venter. Not sure if that's a glitch on his side or whether he just completely disconnected. But in the background there, we see Gary Fleming now in the Ford Focus there, followed by Chantal de Jager in 7th place, and she's being chased there by youngster Adrian Gous in 8th place. I think Mike Ramsey might have gotten caught up in that first lap incident. You can see him well back. Tony Russ there, and she's being chased hard down by Martin Meintjes, and closely following them is and Martin Meintjes. That is not a Honda, Martin. Stay off the grass. Martin heading for the grass there, and that allows Andre Serrario, who was caught up in that accident, working his way back. First time here with SRA, but a well-seasoned oval driver with SAOL, and glad to see him on grid and to see what is going to happen. But still real score. Sorry, just another hiccup here with YouTube, trying to keep up with what's going on here. As I said, a lot of changes that's happened, but we're working on to try and figure that out. But back to leaders, we see Kian Gous there now 2 seconds ahead of Rion Scholes and Christo Meintjes. So we have lost Rian van der Westhuizen. Rian van der Westhuizen had slipped down into 8th place, and a big slide there by Christo Meintjes. Not quite sure what happened there. I hope he can more or less figure that out, and it does look like he had a bit of an internet issue there, but he's back up and running. Fortunately, didn't lose any time. 3 seconds behind Rion Scholes there in the lead, and then Ari Venter. Yeah, Ari Venter, he's still staying on the grids, but he is falling way out of contention. So I'm not sure what's happening there on his side. We will have to check his ping and see whether he will be able to race in race 2. But JP Duffy there now, right up on the rear bumper of Rian van der Westhuizen. So this is quite an interesting battle evolving here, and you can see Gary Fleming just up ahead. So Rian coming under pressure now from JP Duffy. JP Duffy, is he going to go? No, he wanted to have a look, but he does not really pull it off. Decides to just stick it out and see what happens. And we see Ari Venter there going off. So Ari Venter is still here and there and about, and I'm really not sure what's going on his side with regard to the internet, but yeah, close dice here between JP Duffy, Adrian Gous just about hanging in there, and then you can see Chantal de Jager there right on the rear bumper of Adrian Gous. So this is quite a big battle, ranging from 4th place right into 9th place at the moment. So 5 cars battling for position here, and you can see Mike Ramsey here in the background also starting to catch up. He's only about 1.5 seconds behind the guys, and yeah, we'll see what lap time he puts in here on this, and just get an idea of the lap times of the guy as he crosses the finish line. Not quite sure. I couldn't get that lap time, unfortunately. But yeah, if we look at this, Rian van der Westhuizen and JP Duffy still going at it head to head. Not either of them giving it an inch, and JP is struggling a bit to he's keeping up with Rian, but he's struggling a bit to just catch up and make any kind of move on Rian there. And all the while in the background you can see Chantal de Jager closing the door on Adrian Gous lap by lap. Up ahead, the leaders are starting to pull away. Kian Gous now with a 2.8 second gap over Rion Scholes. Rion Scholes in turn 4.4 second gap over Christo Meintjes. And then Gary Fleming does seem to be catching up to the car of Christo Meintjes. He's only about 1.3 seconds behind, which is not a lot. You can see there Christo Meintjes down the main straight as he goes into the fast right-hander, and Gary Fleming following suit, not too far back, but right behind them the battle is ensuing, and it is a very close battle. I see the Adrian Gous having dropped from 7th to 11th, so he's pulled a 7-11 and made a bit of a mistake there. But Ari Venter back in the battles here, and right on the rear bumper of Chantal de Jager. I surely hope he sorted his ping issues. We have seen a lot of it happening, with him just showing disconnect and then he reappears back on track. So something up on his internet side, and obviously not a good thing for racing at this moment. I hope it does not go bad. But Ari has got the pace and he's really flying in this Honda. Unfortunately, as I said, we're not quite sure what is going on there with his internet. Guys, not sure how many of you are watching, but if you can just give me a heads up on what is happening on the on the volume side, so I can just get an idea if everything is running 100%. So just playing around, and yeah, let's see. Rian van der Westhuizen. Now Rian has managed to pass JP. He's actually, well, not past him, he's actually pulled a gap of 2 seconds over JP, and he's now putting Gary Fleming on a massive pressure here. So Rian van der Westhuizen on the move. As I said, he's pulled a gap of 2 seconds over JP Duffy, and JP Duffy now being caught by Chantal de Jager. Chantal only 1.2 seconds behind JP, and but the closest dice here at the moment is between Gary Fleming and Rian van der Westhuizen, and Gary having to work super hard here to keep Rian behind him. Rian has got the Subaru dialed in. Teammate Sean Olivier would definitely, you'll see him a bit later in group 1 coming up, but Rian definitely getting a lot of help here from Sean Olivier with regard to setup and getting the car dialed in. Rian in turn does all the deliveries, so each do their own in the team, and lovely looking car there, but you can see that Gary Fleming now under heaps of pressure from Rian van der Westhuizen. So I'm just trying to see her here. And we can see Rian, it seems like he's falling back ever so slightly, not much happening here. We see Chantal de Jager now coming under pressure from Arie Venter. Chantal trying to make up some time on JP Duffy. JP Duffy about 1.2 seconds ahead of Chantal. And then Mark Ramsey's not too far back. I think he's lost a position. Yes, Andre Serodia has managed to pass Mike Ramsey as well. And Martin Mank is struggling a bit with the Astra, really struggling with the setup here. A lot of understeer, but he's hanging in there, putting in the lap times, and then a recovering Adrian Ghost trying to come back through the field. Unfortunately, he's cooked the tires on that Subaru and doing a lot of lawn mowing. I think we've got to put him in the Honda for the next one, and he can mow all the lawns on the tracks. But yeah, 2 retirements already. Unfortunately, we've seen Christo Mankis retiring, and then Tian Eberson in pit, so not quite sure what happened there. But back to the battle for 3rd place here. Gary Fleming under massive pressure still, and you can see in the background there Chantal de Jager now side by side with JP Duffy as they go into the long fast hander. It's very, very brave to go sideways there. Is she going to go for an undercut? Also being chased hard there by Arie Venter, so we're trying to follow these 2 dices, and yes, Gary Fleming, look at that, Rian van der Westhuizen right up on the rear bumper there of Gary Fleming. Up ahead, Kian Gous, 6 laps done and dusted out of 13. He's on lap 7 now. Rion Scholz not falling too far back, only 4 seconds behind Kian, so one little mistake and see it all fall away. And Gary Fleming 15 seconds behind him, so those 2 Subarus on a roll and running away from the rest of the field. But we're going to watch this dice. It is absolutely fantastic. And in the background there we see another disconnect from Arie Venter, and unfortunately it looks like that has caused Chantal de Jager to be taken out, as she has fallen a lot of places. JP Duffy has managed to keep in the running, but Rian van der Westhuizen now having passed Gary Fleming. I was watching the times and not watching the dice there, but immediately Rian has pulled a gap of almost 3 seconds. JP Duffy now, and there we have Arie Venter back. So Arie Venter is definitely having internet issues on his side, and we'll definitely have to ask him to have a look at that, where he just disappears and appears on track, and that has caused a couple of incidents so far. We'll see how it goes on race 2, and then probably have to have a chat with him afterwards. But the guys 7 out of 13 laps, just about past the halfway mark. This currently the closest dice at the moment, and then in the background there you can see Andre Serodio. He is definitely catching up to these guys. You can see that car is dialed in perfectly, no understeer, no oversteer. And I do know the guys in the front wheel drives, especially Group 1, during qualifying and practice, were complaining a lot about understeer. The track not being very kind to these cars, as opposed to the rear wheel drive BMWs and Subarus. But back ahead we see JP Duffy, Arie Venter still at it. 0.6 between these 2 guys. We're just going to go through the field quick. Kian Gous there in the Travel Uncharted Hours Motors Subaru, well ahead, putting a gap of about 4.5 seconds over Rion Scholz. So Rion Scholz now first race back in well over a year, and currently laying 2nd place, doing a job well done. Rian van der Westhuizen there in third place, 16 seconds adrift, but he's going to be more than happy with third place. He fought Gary Fleming really hard for that. And Gary not falling too far back, but you can see that brakes all lit up, the rear wheel standing still as he goes through the corner there. Unfortunately, I haven't got the track description here, so I haven't got corner names, but we'll work through it. Gary Fleming there heading towards the back straight. Quite a tricky corner this one. Then you get a fast flat right-hander, and then it's the right through in 60 up to 235 kilometers an hour before you get this right-hander, which is also about flat out. But yeah, JP Duffy, and look at this, Andre Serodio really catching up quickly now. This battle for 5th place turning into a 3-car battle, and Andre Serodio is definitely going to try and get his nose in there and challenge for some kind of position here. And then in the background there we can see Martin Meintjes now catching up Marco Klusen, both these guys in Opel Astras. And if I understand correctly, both of them actually struggling a lot with setup on this track. So yeah, a bit of a hiccup there on my side with the microphone, just had to restart it. But Martin Meintjes slightly, it seems like Marco has passed Martin now falling back ever so slightly, but look at this, Andre Serodio closing the gap every single lap, and within striking distance now, very late, almost losing it there under brakes. So he's got the bias set quite far back, but hanging on to it. And these two Hondas out on a full-on mission to try and catch up to that Opel Astra of JP Duffy just up ahead. JP currently in 5th place, about 3 seconds behind Gary Fleming. Rian van der Westhuizen still quite comfortably in 3rd place. He's opened the gap between him and Gary to about 3 seconds. And then Rion Scholes doing his utmost best to try and catch up with Kieran Gous. Kieran Gous there 5.7 seconds in the lead, leading the race. And Andre Serodio now, look at that. Ari goes a bit wide onto the grass. That's going to allow Andre Serodio to come up on the inside. And as they go side by side into the fast right-hander, that is a bit tricky. And I do believe, yeah, Ari has gone off. So we see Ari there losing it. Very tricky to stay on the outside there. You will see that possibly with Group 1 coming up. Bunch of crazy beasts driving there and super fast guys. These guys also not far off the pace, and most of them newcomers, but getting used to it and getting back into the left-right turning thing, as opposed to the oval track where they just go one direction. And then also going from rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive mostly. But yeah, Andre Serodio now is going to try and catch up to JP Duffy. Has got some work cut out for him, so we're going to go through the field, see what's happening here. Adrian Gous having a horrible time. You can see Kieran Gous coming up to lap his own brother. So that's the little brother in the front with Kieran Gous right behind him, trying to play catch-up. Kieran has got 3 laps to go. He's on lap 10 of 13. And Adrian will most undoubtedly move out of the way. Yes, you can see him get on the brakes there. And yeah, you can hear him saying bye to his brother. So the two brothers both racing together and having a jolly here. And then we see Rion Scholes is going to come up to Adrian Gous now. And so let's see if Adrian does the same gesture and lets Rion go by. Rion currently still in 2nd place as they start the penultimate lap. After this, they'll have 2 laps to go. Rian van der Westhuizen there still in a comfortable 3rd place. 19 seconds now, 15 seconds actually. So yeah, he the timing not quite right there on the last split. But Rian van der Westhuizen quite close, well, quite comfortably in 3rd place. Gary Fleming having dropped 6 seconds now and quite some distance behind. But it just seems like JP Duffy is catching up to our man Gary Fleming here. So might be that we'll have to keep a lookout on this one. And yeah, very interesting that what's going on here. JP Duffy there 1.4 seconds now behind Gary Fleming. So I'm not sure if Gary is struggling with rear tyres, but JP is definitely catching up, and Andre Serodio is not gaining as much as he would have liked to. Currently in 6th place, Ari Fenton now having fallen back to 7th place after he's running wide. Mike Ramsey 8th place, 3 seconds behind Ari. Marco Knudsen there 7 seconds behind Mike Ramsey, followed by Martin Mankey 3.5 seconds behind him. And then Tony Rust not having the best of races out there, not a very easy track, 23 seconds behind Martin Mankey's in 11th place. Unfortunately, we've also seen Chantal de Jager retired. So we've lost 3 drivers in this race. Tian Everson still in the pits, not sure why he's not on track. Chantal de Jager having disconnection issues as for Christo Mankis, who had the same thing. But look at this, JP Duffy right on the rear bumper of Gary Fleming, and Gary not having none of it, saying no, but this position is mine and I'm going to stick with it. And Gary staying there in 4th place, JP Duffy in 5th place. This might allow Andre Serrano to close up the gap. So let's see what happens here as they go. They've got about 2 laps to go. Yes, they're on the penultimate lap now. Kian Gous at the moment, they're leading the way. 2 laps to go. Rion Scholz 8.2 seconds behind him. And then Rian van Westhuizen in 3rd place, but back to this man. Oh, and JP Duffy, as I said, curse of the camera, we went off, called back up to him, and JP Duffy, that's going to cost him a lot of places. He's fallen back from 5th place. A potential 4th place, right down to 6th place. You can see Mark Ramsey passing in there. Mike Ramsey will have no gravel on the tyres, so JP is going to struggle to try and regain any kind of position here with only 2 laps to go. And the guys very, very pushing really hard. Not necessarily as 8.3 seconds ahead. Might be that he's getting tired. Might be that he might run it. Oh, and look at that. Kian Gous has just lost it on the second to last lap. He has lost it, and that is what's going to happen. Rion Scholz here coming in. He will not be aware of this, and he will now see the Subaru ahead of him. So Rion Scholz now, as they start the last lap, is going to be in a position to take the win here. Adrian Gous moves out of the way. They know that he's being lapped, and can Rion do any kind of comeback here and take the lead away from Kian Gous? Kian Gous having spun out, I just said he was quite aggressive and he lost it all on his own. Did a full 270 into the barriers, obviously damaging the car, and Rion Scholz now right up there in a position to try and take the win. We're going to keep our eyes on the timing here. But also another battle here. Andre Serrano now having closed the gap to 0.9 behind Gary Fleming. So Gary Fleming still in 4th place, but he's under a hell of a lot of pressure from the rest of the field. Well, not the rest of the field, actually just one guy, and this is none other than Andre Serrano here. So Gary Fleming on the last lap, really pushing super hard, and look, just 0.4 seconds behind these guys as they've got half a lap to go. On the final lap, Rion might get into the slip of Kian Gous as they go through that tricky right-hander. The Subarus tend to oversteer, and you can see Kian almost putting it onto the grass there. That could have cost him a lot of time. It did seem like he managed to put a gap ever so slightly. Still up in 1st place, followed there by Rion Scholz. Can Rion Scholz make any kind of impact here? They've got 3 more corners to go. Late on the brakes into the sharp right-hander, which is very, very tricky, which we saw has caught out a lot of guys. Kian again going a bit sideways. And Rion Scholz now closing the gap back to 0.4 seconds. So can he? I don't think he'll be able to make it unless Kian makes another mistake here. Oh, and Rion runs wide, but they cross the line side by side. 0.4 between them. Rian van Westhuizen here coming home in 3rd place. Well-deserved position. He had a massive battle there with Gary Fleming throughout. 1 more corner to go, Rian, bring it home. Job well done, superb drive there. And we're going to cross back the biggest dice at the moment on track there with Gary Fleming. And Uncle Gary here under a lot of pressure from Andre Serrano. Andre Serrano just about running out of laps and having to settle for 5th place. Ari Venter crosses the line in 6th place. Mike Ramsey there through the final corner, coming home in 7th place. Marco Knudsen will be bringing it home in 8th place. JP Duffy, unfortunately, after he's off, having lost another 2 positions, down to 9th place. Martin Mankis is going to be just happy to get it to the finish and bring it home in 10th place. Tony Rust there in 11th place, and just bringing it home, driving for the experience. She has proven to be quite quick on some tracks, and this a very new track to her with a new car. You can see she's back completely out of it, just coming home and just getting the experience. and yeah, having lots of fun. That's what it's all about. So yeah, as I said, a couple of incidents in race one. Adrian Gous already in pit, 1 lap down. So 12 cars out of the 15 cars finishing, with Kian Gous taking the win, Rion Scholz in second, Rian van der Westhuizen third, Gary Fleming fourth, Andre Serradio fifth, Arie Venter sixth, Mike Ramsey then seventh, Marco Knudsen in eighth, JP Duffy ninth, Martin Mankis 10th, Tony Rust 11th, Adrian Gous 12th and last place. And then unfortunately we lost 3 cars. Chantal de Jager with a disconnect. Tian Eberson after 1 lap decided to, Adrian put up a bit of a show there, decided to call it quits. And then Christian Mankis is just also another disconnect. So it does seem like the guy had some internet issues, but we're going to take a 3-minute break. And we will be back for race 2 of the Group 2, guys. So stick around and I can promise you there should be a humdinger with a reverse grid coming up.
Announcer bot is active.
Thank you for that, Rian. I was speaking to myself. I just muted the mic to clear my throat for this one. But yeah, as I said earlier, massive incident there in turn one, causing a lot of chaos. Unfortunately, Ari Venter there, having spun out and collecting the rest of the pack. This has seen Chantal de Jager disconnect due to mechanical failure on the car or mechanical damage, and she decided to call it quits. But currently, Marco Knudsen now in the lead. A lot of pressure from race one second place man, Rion Scholz. Just trying to get my composure here. Thanks for that, Rian. Sorry for that as well. For the guys watching, messed that one up. But yeah, if you're alone, you do tend to mess it up. As I said earlier, I don't know where my co-commentator, Mr. Menkes is. Unfortunately, I think he is travelling for work. Otherwise, he would have been here. And then also my other commentator, Ryan Ludik, recovering from home after he burnt himself yesterday. Severe second-degree burns on his body. Spoke to him earlier. He's doing well, and all our sympathies goes out to him and the family, and we wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope we can see him back in the commentating booth at the driver's seat again very soon. But back to the battle here. Rion Scholz now pushing super hard to try and get past Marco Knudsen here. Battle for the lead. Right behind them we've got Mike Ramsey coming under pressure from Andre Serodio, with Rian van der Westhuizen also breathing down Serodio's rear bumpers. So let's see if Rion can make any kind of move. Can he take the lead from Marcus Knudsen? Marco currently in the lead, doing a superb job here and making that Astra super wide. If Rion doesn't get past Marco quick and they start battling, this might, however, allow Mike Serodio and van der Westhuizen catch right up. And it seems like, I'm not sure what happened there, but Rion Scholz got a massive drive out of the last corner and he's made the pass on the outside. And yeah, that has left Marco with no answers. The STI Subaru taking the lead, and Rion is just going to put the hammer down and try and get away as far as he possibly can from this pack. Marco Knudsen there still getting in second place. Job well done and doing a superb job here. Mike Ramsey in third place, and look at this, Andre Serodio now right on the rear bumper of Mike, as is Rian van der Westhuizen. As Rian goes on the inside there, trying to make a move, a bit of a touch there. That is not a very wise decision in that wheel drive Subaru, because if that back end steps out, it's gone. You do not catch it, believe you me when I tell you that. But Rian having none of it and really putting in a superb show here. In the background there we see Christian Menkes. He has now gotten past JP Duffy and trying to catch up to this battle here. But these guys having a huge battle. This is the dice for third place. Mike Ramsey there with a battle between Andre and Rian, having pulled ever so slightly away from the rest of the pack. 0.8 now between them. But Rian really pushing very hard and putting a lot of pressure here on Andre Serodio. So Andre Serodio saying no, having none of it, but Andre runs wide there, and that's going to allow Rian on the inside. Can he benefit? He's on the outside for the last corner. Rian decides, no, I'm going to try and go for the undercut, try and get a run out of the corner, but that Honda is just too strong, and Rian has no answers there at the moment. Another lap, another battle. Let's see what's happened. We can see Rion Scholz now immediately pulling away from Marco Knudsen. Mike Ramsey only about 2 seconds behind Marco, so we might have to look at that battle as well. And then we can see Kian Goos now having to fight his way from behind. He's down in 8th place after having one first corner incident caught him out, and he's got a hell of a way to come back to try and make up for lost points and lost time. But the battle for the moment is still right here. Battle for third place between Andre Serodio and Rian van der Westhuizen. It does seem like a bit of a twitch there from the Subaru, so Rian pushing really hard, but it might be that he is oh, and look at that sideways action there. So Rian is pushing super hard. He must be careful not to burn out those rear tires, because that is not going to be good. And then Andre Serodio now, yeah, he's managed to pull a bit of a gap there, so I think Rian might be struggling a bit with tires. So Andre pulling away, and he can concentrate now on trying to catch up with Mike, and Mike in the meantime is surely catching up. He's going more than a second on the last lap on Marco Knudsen. So Marco Knudsen in second place now, coming under a lot of pressure and threats from Mike Ramsey. So Mike Ramsey there in second place, 0.9. He's pulled that gap down even closer. Real scores there 4.5 seconds ahead now as he crosses the finish line to start lap 6. If he makes no mistake, he's got this one in the bag, and what a great return for him after almost a year of absence, getting back into the rig and just getting back into where he wants to be, right up front. Marco Knudsen there 4.8 seconds behind in second place. Mike Ramsey in third place, followed there by Andre Serodio. Rian van der Westhuizen currently in fifth place. Christo Mankies 4 seconds back, but don't throw this man out the door yet. He started from the back of the pack in 15th place and is up into 6th place, and he is really going to be putting the hammer down. As we can see there now, this gap has come down to 0.4, and we see JP Duffy and Kian Gous there side by side. Kian trying to make his way back after having gone off in that first corner incident, and he passes JP Duffy there, but he's got a long way to go. He's got about 25 seconds to catch up. I do not think he's going to be able to catch up anyway, but look at this. We're hopping right around the field now as the guys are absolutely battling everywhere. And Andre Serrari, he's pulled the gap to 0.9, but he is not able to close that gap any further, as Mike can also not close the gap lower than 1 second. Rian van der Westhuizen, however, has managed to get some grip back into his tyres, and he's back onto the rear bumper there again of Andre Serrari. So a massive battle here, and you can see Andre Serrari now 0.4 behind Mike. So I do reckon Mike has run a bit wide, and Serrari now right on the rear bumper of Mike Ramsey there. And Rian van der Westhuizen in turn on the rear bumper of Andre Serrari. Now Tristan Mankies is going to be watching this, as you can see him just coming on the main straight at the back there. Oh, and there's some big lockups there. Guys, these guys are racing really close, and it might end up in tears. And unfortunately, as we know, it usually does, but let's see how it pans out. We hope it doesn't. But Mike under pressure now has fallen back from Marco Knudsen. Marco Knudsen having... not sure what's going on there with his brakes. And a bit of a bump there. Andre giving Mike a little bit of a, let's go boy, let's go, let's catch up to Marco. And sorry for that. Yeah, Marco under Mike Ramsey under a lot of pressure here, and Rian van der Westhuizen not backing out of it at all. Oh, and unfortunately, as I said, that Rian runs, he just taps the back of Andre Serrano. That causes him 1 position, 2 positions. So Rian falls back, unfortunately, from 5th place right into 7th place. Make that 8th place as JP Duffy also passes him now. But Rian will not be sitting down. He is a fighting man, and he will be on a comeback drive, that I can promise you. They have only done halfway of the race. They've got 7 more laps to go. And the closest battle at the moment here is currently between Andre Serrano and Mike Ramsey. And Mike having fallen back 1.87, 1.6 seconds, so he's maintaining that gap. But I do believe that with keeping Serrano behind him, he is going to fall back from Marco Knudsen. So there we go. Marco Knudsen pulls a gap of up to 7 seconds as Mike is trying to keep Andre Serrano behind him. But in the background there, look at this, Tristan Mankies has managed to close this gap now 3.4 seconds. And you can see him coming closer every single lap. So we might be looking at a massive, massive battle here coming up towards the last 5 or 6 laps. As I said, they've got 7 laps remaining on lap 8 of 13. And Marco Knudsen coming under pressure now from Mike Ramsey, as Mike is feeling the pressure, and he's closed the gap back down to 1.4 seconds. Andre Serrano only 4 seconds. And Tristan Mankies here has close the gap to 2.9. So a lot is happening here, guys. This is the battle for second place. Rion Scholes at the moment running away is 8.4 seconds ahead of Marco Knudsen, so he's just got to take it home. But look at this, 0.2 between these guys, these 2 Honda drivers, not giving an inch. Mike Ramsey making that Honda as wide as he possibly can, and Andre Serrano in the Falcon Civic having none of it. He wants to get past, and they are surely closing up on Marco Knudsen. Marco Knudsen 1.3 seconds ahead now. And Marco goes wide. Marco runs, and Marco spins it. And that's caused, that has caused Andre Serrano to run wide as well. Christo Mankies benefits out of all of this, and he's up into 3rd place. as does Kian Gous up into 4th place. So Andre Serrario falls from 4th place into 5th place, from 3rd place into 5th place, and Marco Knudsen from 2nd place into 6th place. That was a very, very unfortunate incident there. Sadly for Marco, just put those rear wheels on the curb. He had no control and he spun out, sadly, in front of both Mike Ramsey and Andre Serrario, and that caused Andre having to go off. Andre's losing 3 places, and the biggest beneficiary here was Christo Meintjes, who's gained 2 positions, and this has also put Rian van der Westhuizen back into contention. So anything can happen, and we just saw how quickly he does. So let's see what happens as they go into lap 9. Mike Ramsey now 12 seconds behind Rion Scholes. So he's got to be more than happy to be in 2nd place now, having been in 3rd place, and he is not going to make it easy for the guys if they do manage to catch up. But Kian Gous now catching up to Christo Meintjes very, very quick, and Christo Meintjes also catching up to Mike Ramsey. So here's another little battle evolving, and this should be quite an interesting one. And we can see that Christo Meintjes is maintaining the gap on 2 seconds. Kian's got it down to 0.8, so he's a bit quicker through here. Christo also 1.6, 1.5. So Christo Meintjes catching up very, very quickly now to Mike McGee, and Mike McGee is going to come under a lot of pressure with only 3 laps to go. As they start lap 11, they will have 3 laps to go, and Rion Scholes at the moment, as I said, he's just taking it home. He knows he's 12 seconds ahead. He got a clear start, he put the car in the right place, got through that incident, and worked his way up from 8th place to take the lead, and now runs 12 seconds ahead of the pack. But now Kian Gous right up onto the rear bumper, 0.9 in it. Christo Meintjes in turn 0.8 behind Mike Ramsey. Pardon me, Uncle Mike. But as they go through here, fantastic job there by Christo Meintjes. As I said, Meintjes started from 15th place and is right up into 3rd place. He is going to be super chuffed with that, but he is also going to come under a lot of pressure here. Mike Ramsey now coming under pressure from Christo Meintjes, being chased hard by the 2 Subarus. Behind Christo Meintjes with Kian Gous right on the rear bumper. Kian is going to try his 0.2 behind him. Can he take the slip as they go down the back straight? Is he going to get the drive? He's going to go for a move. They go side by side. They're not going to try and go side by side through here, are they? They ballsy if they do that. Kian over the curb there. Christo lets him wisely go. Deciding he's not going to throw away all those points that he's got now, having worked so hard from last place. And Kian Gous now right on the rear bumper of Mike Ramsey. And Mike, as I said, not an easy customer. He is an Otopie. He's an Otopie Motorsport, and he's going to know exactly where to put that car to keep Kian behind him. Kian, a youngster here, and making his return to sim racing, is not going to be. He's going to be a bit hot-headed most probably, and try and get past this old man, as he knows Christo Meintjes is going to be right behind him, and Christo Meintjes not falling back at all. And in the background there, you can see Andre Serrario now also taking advantage of these guys having a battle. And fighting his way back. Marco Knudsen there recovering and trying his utmost best. But look at this. The battle ensues as they've got 2 laps to go. Kian Gous on the rear bumper there of Mike Ramsey. And if they make any kind of mistake, Christo Meintjes is going to hop right up from 4th place into 2nd place. So these guys is going to have to take it very, very cautiously. Mike locking up the rear tyres there. Kian on the inside. Is he going to go for some sort of move? No, they run side by side. They leave each other enough room. Again, as they go into this, it's a very, very tricky right-hander. If you get it right, you can get a massive drive onto the back straight. Kian tries to undercut there, try and get in the slip there of Mike. Mike says, no, boyki, you're not going to get past that easy. And as they go down the back straight into this flat-out right-hander, then slight dab of the brakes into the second right-hander, and then and Mike slipping the rear end, Kian hopping the curb there. So they are starting to push it really hard. They know they're running out of time. There's 2 laps to go. They're going to start the penultimate lap now. 2 laps in it, and look at this. This is the battle for 3rd place. Christo Meintjes now right up there as well, and Andre Serrario also catching up. So we might just see a four-way battle for second place as we go into the last lap. Guys, we're going to stick with this, guys. As you can see on the timings here on the left, this is the closest battle at the moment, and Mike Ramsey coming under a lot of pressure here from Kian Gous. And Kian Gous very late on the brakes on the inside there. They are barging through their typical touring car racing. Kian falls back behind Mike Ramsey, but he wants to go for it again on the inside of Mike. Mike is not going to make this easy for him. They tap once again. Some paint is being rubbed, and look at Christo. Christo decides, I want to have in on this, and Mike blocks Christo as he goes from the outside of Kian Gous. Christo on the inside there of Mike. He backs out of it, and Mike is having none of this. He wants that position back. He's in the slip there of the Subaru going. We know the Honda is very strong out of the corners. He's on the outside there of Kian. They rub again. Side by side, wing mirrors touching there as they go, and Kian puts it sideways there, trying to keep Mike behind him. That's going to give Mike an edge as they go down the back straight. And Christo Mankis is having a spectacular view of what's going on here. And Mike on the inside there, he's going to go for that move as they go side by side. Mike understeers a bit, he takes them both off. Mike onto the gravel. Kian Gous and manages to hang on it, but look at this. Christo Mankis now goes right into second place. As I said, one mistake and these guys are going to lose out. Mike Ramsey there running wide and falling back onto the gravel. Andre Serrode has now joined the party, and he's ahead of Mike Ramsey. And so Mike Ramsey being the biggest loser, losing from second place all the way down into fifth place. And as I said, it was bound to happen. These guys were really racing each other super hard. Typical touring car racing. No inch given, and these two still haven't given up. Christo says, no, I want the second place. I came all the way from last. I'm not giving up. Kian says, I want that second place. He needs to get the points back to try and finish equal to Rion, as he won the first race and Rion in second place. So they're racing for points here. Christo Mankis is now on the rear bumper. Kian Gous having taken second. No, he backs out of it. He plays the wise man here and decides he's not going to get involved. Andre Serrano pulling away there, but he might be able to catch up to Christo Mankis if he plays his cards right, or if Christo just slides wide ever so slightly. But I do think that the guy has decided at this point of time that, listen, it's the last lap. We're not going to get into this too much, and you can see Christo there. He is not taking any chances. He's pushing, and if Kian makes any kind of mistake, he will be right up there to take the position. But look at this. Winner of race 2 by more than 19 seconds, crossing the line. Rion Scholes, what a comeback drive. Finished second in race 1, taking the win in race 2. Not a foot set wrong. Well done there. Job well done. Kian Gous there coming in home in second place, closely followed there by Christo Mankis. Let's see if he gets it through here. We saw how easy these Subarus can catch it out even on the last corner. Kian Gous crosses the line there, just ahead of Christo Mankis in third, Andre Serrano in fourth, Mike Ramsey in fifth, and we see Marco Knudsen in sixth place. Rian van der Westhuizen there is taking seventh place. JP Duffy is going to come home in eighth place. Martin Mankis bringing it home in ninth. And then Arie Venter, having lost a couple of laps with disconnect. Adrian Gous bringing it home in 10th place, and Tony Rusty coming home in 11th place, guys. So that is your Group 2 race. This time I'm definitely going to take a 3-minute break just to get some coffee, and then we're going to go with how shall I put it, not the big ones, more like the crazy ones. So yeah, next up we will have Group 1, also a field of 18 cars which is coming up, and let's see how many of them make it to the grid, and what happens for the 2 races coming up. They've put in their qualifying times, and it should be a pretty close one to watch. playing around and yeah, let's see. Rian van der Westhuizen
Announcer bot
now,
is active.
Rian has managed to pass JP. He's actually, well, not passed him, he's actually pulled the
The
gap.
race session is at original made by Tantra for GTR2 in 2007. Basic conversion to AC by Mechanic 72.2021 reworked by Pugsang in Welcome, South Africa. Sean Loureiro from Italy is first.
2 seconds behind JP, and but the closest guys here at the moment is between Gary Fleming and Rian van der Westhuizen, and Gary having to work super hard here to keep Rian behind him. Rian has got the Subaru dialed. Sorry boys, a bit of a hiccup there. We had an issue here with the stream, just cut out. Give me 2 minutes to get it back up and running. Not sure what happened there. Very interesting. Had no controls over the stream here, so I sincerely apologize for that as we started with the big boys.
Announcer bot is active.
Okay, there we go. Now we've got the things working. Just got to mute the guys here quick. Okay, so basically guys, for some reason I literally can't get so I'm just trying to get the live timings to come up, and as soon as we get that we will be going live. You won't miss anything of the race, so apologies for that from my side.
Announcer bot is active. The race session is at original made by Tantra for GTR2 in 2007. Basic conversion to AC by Mechanic 72.2021 reworked by Pugsang in Welcome, South Africa.
Sorry for the delay guys, just into the new stream, is having a bit of a hiccup here. If you can just bear with me. Seems like it doesn't want to take off the restriction standings, so I'm going to have to let that stay for there for
Announcer
now.
bot is active.
There we go. Okay, I sincerely apologize for that, but back onto the grid, we're going to cross over to the stream. And there we see head of the pack, Sean Loureiro up on pole position, Jeff Leroux in second place, Tian van Rooyen there in 3rd place. Andrew Stadler in 4th place. Can't really get a good view of his car, but we're going to try and see what we can work with here. As the guys rev up, another 13 laps to go. As I said, sorry for the delay there. I have a bit of an issue with the timing system here. But we're going to go with the two top guys. I mean, these guys, good friends, but they do not give each other an inch. That I can promise you. As we hear the guys revving up. Sean Loureiro on the limiter. And they are off a very, very quick start there by Sean Loureiro immediately taking the lead. Jeff Loureiro on the outside, and Tian van Rooyen there on the inside of Jeff Loureiro. So Jeff not getting off the line as quickly as he would have liked, but still doing a superb job here. And Tian van Rooyen backing. Well, Jeff actually retained 2nd place, but now he's got some work cut out for him to try and catch up with Sean Loureiro, and Sean is absolutely. And in the background there we see Andrew Stadler and Wayne Mitten coming together. Jana van der Westhuizen there in the background also going off, and unfortunately there Lyle Ramsey also in the first focus going off. So not the best of starts for these guys, but a massive battle ensuing here. And you can see Tian van Rooyen already trying to go on the inside. These guys, the top 5, fighting for the lead. Jeff going sideways there. What is going to happen? Can Melvin pass him? Tian going off. Sean Olivier going off. Melvin goes there benefiting from the whole scene, and Sean Olivier coming through into 3rd place. Jeff Loureiro, unfortunately, not the start he would have liked. He is down into 4th place. Got a slight tap from Tian there, and that put him down some ways back. Tian van Rooyen now down into 7th place, and he's got a very, very hard customer ahead of him, which is in the form of Andrew Stadler. Oh, and they do touch, and Andrew hangs onto that one quite superbly. Under an old hand at sim racing and at real life racing, and you're not going to catch him out that quick. But job well done there by Andrew in the Rebel Sim Racing Subaru, doing a fantastic job hanging on to that at high speed. He's putting Mark de Toy now under pressure, so Mark de Toy is going to have his work cut out with Andrew Stadler right behind him, and then Jeff Loureiro trying to fight his way back, chasing Sean Olivier. Sean Olivier also one of the quicker drivers, and probably if not one of the quickest drivers here on SRA from Rebel Sim Racing. But Sean Loureiro from GSRT absolutely flying. He's already pulled a gap of 3 seconds ahead of Melvin Gous, and Melvin Gous now coming under a lot of pressure from Sean Olivier. So Sean Olivier is a man on a roll, and you can see the guys more or less settling down now. They're not wanting to get involved in too much of rubbing and contact, and just trying to put in some respectable times, but a very close dice here. Look at this. Andrew Stadler now trying to catch up with Mark de Toy, and Tian van Rooyen behind Andrew. So these guys are battling for 5th place, and as I said earlier, Andrew a very, very good driver, and he is not going to be an easy customer to deal with. Right behind him we've got Wayne Mitten now catching up to Donovan Lowe. Oh, and Donovan, I'm not sure, went onto the gravel there. That might have. Oh, that's Mark de Toy. So Mark de Toy has gone onto the grass, and that has cost him a position. So Mark de Toy. Oh, and we lost Tian van Rooyen. So Tian van Rooyen was actually the guy. He got caught up on the curb, and we just missed out on that one. So Mark de Toy literally spun off there, and he's well down into 12th place. Unfortunately, 5 drivers unable to attend, the likes of Adrian Nel, Lyle, Kyle, can't get the surname now, but yeah, and again, Tian van Rooyen not in a happy place at the moment, but back to the leaders, and you can see Sean Olivier now pushing really hard to try and catch up to Melvin Gous in 2nd place. Sean Loureiro has managed to put that car up 3.8 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. You can see Melvin Gous lap time there 1:34.2, so not quite where they should be, as Sean is running in the 1:33s and absolutely flying at the moment. But Jeff Loureiro also not far off, only a second behind these guys, and Andrew Stadler now, having pulled away, is going to be able to put his sights on Jeff Loureiro. So these 5 guys are really going to be pushing it, and then Donovan Lowe putting a lot of pressure onto Wayne Mitten. And yeah, as I said earlier, the front-wheel drive cars are really not happy here, and we're trying to work something out as we go towards the next round to maybe get the speed down on the rear-wheel drive. Currently looking at some weight penalties and or restrictors that we're going to be running on these rear-wheel drive cars, as they do seem to be a lot better. Not in terms of handling or anything else, but purely on getting the power down. So that is something that we will discuss with the drivers and sort out before Sunday. But Sean Olivier now 0.5 seconds behind. I'm just looking at the times here and trying to figure out who's running where. And Jeff Leroux, the gap is staying 1 second, between 0.5 and 1 second between these guys. I think the closest guys at this stage is Sean Olivier trying to catch up to Melvin Goos, and then also Donovan Lowe trying to catch up to Wayne Mitten. So we'll keep an eye on these two battles. And look at that, Sean Olivier right on the rear bumper. Melvin having made a mistake somewhere or just losing a lot of time, and Sean is going to go for the... No, Melvin closes the door. He's not going to get Sean to get through that easily. And these guys have raced a lot of laps together, and they know exactly how each driver will drive. So they will... It's not unlikely that there will be contact, but it seldomly happens. And some good close racing to be expected here, and I can promise you that Jeff will be seeing this and he will be putting the hammer down to try and catch up, as he knows if this battle continues he will be able to catch up and join that battle, and he might come up from the 4th place into 2nd place. We all know Jeff is a very, very quick driver there in the Roof of Dish BMW. Unfortunately, a bit of a bad luck start to race 1 and having to fight his way back. And with the guys being so close and the times being so fast that once you fall back, you really struggle to catch up. But it seems like Sean now made a mistake. That gap opened up again to about 1 second between him and Goos. And Jeff now 1.2 seconds behind, whereas Unruh is now 0.9 behind Jeff. So these guys are maintaining that split. The only guy really running away with it is Sean Louredo, currently 4.8 seconds ahead, and well, he's not holding back. He's putting in the fastest lap after lap. He knows that if he makes one mistake, it's goodbye. You lose 3, 4, 5 positions easy if you look at how close these guys are at the moment. And back towards the pack, it does seem like Wayne Mitten has got the upper hand over Donovan Lowe. But another interesting dice here evolving is Janne van der Westhuizen and Lyle Ramsey, both of them who went off in that first corner incident, or second corner. And these two Polo Cup drivers, they know each other well, they know each other race. And if they get together, we can be sure to see some spectacular racing. So let's keep an eye on this one and see what happens. Lyle, previous leagues, has run the Honda. He was quite quick in it. He's changed to a Ford now, and well, first race in the Ford, so I can assure you he is busy sorting that car out. And look at this, Melvin and Sean. Sean now has overtaken him, so somewhere along the line, Sean Olivier has managed to pass Melvin, and I can promise you, as soon as Sean gets clear air ahead of him, he is a goner. Look at that, Sean Olivier absolutely on the limit there as they go into that sharp right-hander. As I said, I do not have the track description here for the names of the corners. But this is the battle for second place. As I said earlier, Jeff Leroux now joining in on the battle as these guys fought for second place. And unfortunately, we just missed that one. But Sean putting the hammer down, putting a move there on Melvin. And now we see Jeff Leroux and Andrew Stadler. Andrew is trying to make a move on Jeff, so that's going to put some pressure on Jeff again. So some close dicing going on here, and impossible at this stage to say what's going to transpire, what's going to happen towards the end of the race. They're just about halfway mark now, and we know that these cars do tend to mess up their tires towards the 3/4 mark, so which will be around about lap 9 or 10, where you should see some. And look at that, Andrew Stadler already losing the rear end. So as I said, they do tend to lose rear end grip here by lap 10, 11, depending on your driving style, and then they do get a handful. And we've seen a lot of guys, if you push these rear-wheel drive cars to the limit, to completely lose it, and it turns into a drift show. But Sean Olivier now 7.3 seconds behind Sean Louredo. Melvin Goos still trying to catch up to Sean, but I think Sean has got the upper hand. It's 0.5 between them now, so Sean is slightly putting a gap there. And then Andrew doing everything he possibly can to try and catch up to it. As I said, Lyle Ramsey, and we're missing all the good dices and concentrating on the wrong places here. as we can see here, Lyle Ramsey has now somehow gotten past Janne van der Westhuizen, and they're catching up to Donovan Low at the moment. So let's see these two Polo Cup drivers going at it as they would go, and I can promise there will be no paint spared between the two of them. They would absolutely go super close racing. Janu there using the curb and more. If you look closely at his livery, he's well known for putting cars upside down, and he's actually got a livery saying this side up, and yeah. So we'll try and get the camera in here, get a better shot of that. Yeah, this side up for Mr. van der Westhuizen. But a lack of dice between him and Lyle Ramsey at the moment. And look at that, Andrew Stadler now in 5th place, right up on the rear bumper of Jeff Leroux. Can he catch up to Jeff? He's going to try and get into that slip, but that BMW is very powerful on the straight. The Subaru, for some reason, not that much. Unless you get a superb drive, which Andrew actually does at this stage. And Jeff just doing enough to keep Andrew at bay at the moment. Sean Olivier in the meantime has pulled a gap of 1 second over Melvin Ghost, and he's maintaining that gap between him and Sean Loureiro at about 7 seconds. So Sean Loureiro up there, 7 seconds between him. Look at this, Andrew Stadler now in the slip of the BMW. As I said, unable to make any sort of impact down the back straight. But now as they go into the braking zones, Andrew might have a bit of a benefit here. Can he catch up? Struggling a bit. No, Jeff is just doing enough to maintain that position. Superb job there by Jeff. Jeff also catching up to Melvin Ghost now, as you can see. Really pushing very hard. And Sean Olivier there running in 2nd place. Melvin Ghost in 3rd. 4th place there, Jeff Leroux. 5th place, Andrew Stadler. Mark du Toit all his own in 6th place. He's got to be happy with that. It's points in the back. He's got no pressure from behind. He's got no pressure up ahead. Wayne Mitten in 7th place, doing superbly well in the front wheel drive. The car's not happy on this track. And as I said, the battle continues between these two guys. Janne van der Westhuizen and Lyle Ramsey battling for 8th and 9th. Tiaan van Rooyen trying to fight his way back after his first lap incident, and then another off during the later stages of the race. Mark Fraser in Group 1, unfortunately, still one of the newer guys, so he got into the wrong cut, and regrouping for this weekend, he will definitely be going to Group 2, where he is quite quick, and we might see a lot more rear-wheel drive cars, and as I said, a lot more weight penalties and restrictors coming into play for the remainder of the season. But Andrew Stadler just trying his best at the moment to catch up to Jeff Leroux. Jeff having none of it. These top 5 putting in superbly there, running high 133s, low 134s, but sorry, high 132s if I'm correct with Sean, and some of them 133s, but they just can't catch each other. It's like they're in a train, and that train is just circulating. But what should be interesting is for the next race we will have a complete reverse grad, and if it is like it is now, it's going to be Lyle on pole with Wayne Mitten in 2nd place, but we still have this dice between Janne van der Westhuizen and Lyle Ramsey, and Janne again putting it on 2 wheels. He is literally trying to roll that Honda. He wants to put it on his roof. He hasn't got it right yet, but he is absolutely doing his utmost best to put it upside down. Hopefully this week we will see him on the roof again. So Donovan Lowe now right there with Tiaan van Rooyen. Tiaan van Rooyen trying to fight his way back down in 11th place. He's not going to be happy with that position, but unfortunately touched the curb. The BMW not very fond of curbs, and it spun him around, and he's having to fight his way back, having lost heaps and heaps of time. But look at this, Andrew Stadler still trying to catch up to Jeff Leroux. Jeff saying, no way you're going to do this, but I'm taking 4th place, I'm taking home the points. I mean, these guys still racing for championship, which is about almost halfway now, and there is almost nothing in it. Points are very, very close. You only get points for the top 10, so you really can't make any mistakes, and the points difference is of such a kind that you really have to put in your best result every single race. Also, no events will be thrown away, so every single event will count towards the championship. And look at that, Lyle Ramsey and Janu now ahead of Lyle, so we just missed that one again. But Tiaan van Rooyen now coming into play, so we're going to stick with this one. These guys have got 3 laps to go, and we're going to watch this battle as it plays out. And Lyle Ramsey there going for the inside. No, it backs out of it, but Tiaan van Rooyen is going to try and come on the inside here as he goes down the straight. He's going to get the run, or will he not? I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to see what happens here. Tiaan van Rooyen there on the inside of Lyle. Lyle safely backs out of it. As I said, the leaders still right as they were, so we're going to stick with this, guys. This is the battle for 8th place between Janu van der Westhuizen, Tiaan van Rooyen and Lyle Ramsey. As they come to the sharp right-hander, Lyle on the inside there of Tiaan. Can he pull it off? Tiaan leaving enough room there. BMW goes sideways, but he gets the power down and he manages to just stay ahead of Lyle Ramsey. Janu van der Westhuizen is going to make that Honda as wide as he possibly can, and Lyle is going to be ready to gain any kind of position that he can. But it seems like he did lose a bit of ground here. Janu now, as I said, coming under pressure from the BMW from Tiaan, but he's not going to make it easy for him. Tiaan there on the rear bumper of Janu. Janu, you can see, just trying to line up the car ever so slightly. If he does, no, he does not run onto the grass there, so he might be able to keep the BMW behind him. These Hondas very, very strong on the straights. And there you can see Janu van der Westhuizen, followed by Tiaan van Rooyen and Lyle Ramsey. This is the closest dice at the moment. But look at this, Jeff Leroux now 0.4 seconds behind Melvin Gous with 2 laps to go. So Jeff has managed to get some kind of speed out of that car, and absolutely flying at the moment. And Andrew Stadler also now right up there. Sean Loureiro 6.6 seconds ahead of Sean Olivier. So Sean Olivier has managed to close up that gap. And Jeff Leroux 0.6 behind Melvin, with Andrew 0.5 behind Jeff. So this is a very close battle for 3rd place at the moment. We're also keeping an eye out on the dice between Tiaan van Rooyen and Janu van der Westhuizen. As we go back to that one, Tiaan on the inside there of Janu. Is Janu going to let him pass? Janu is going to go for the undercut. Can he do it, or is the BMW going to be the stronger car here out of the corner? I do believe Tiaan has got it, but you can see the rear end slide. As I said, there's stages where the tyres don't really do what they want to do anymore. But a super close dice here, and Andrew Stadler now 0.5. So Melvin has managed to pull a gap again of up to 1 second, and Andrew Stadler there now 0.5 behind Jeff. So Jeff playing the sandwich, how can I put it, the spread on the sandwich, and having to back for both sides, having to cover his rear from Andrew, and then having to try and catch up to Gous to try and pass him. While the guys on the penultimate lap, Sean Loureiro there, got about 1.5 laps to go. He's going to be more than happy. 6.6 seconds ahead of this man, Mr. Sean Olivier. And he should be very happy with where he's currently lying. And he was struggling a bit with handling in practice and qualifying, but managed to dial the car in, and it's paying off. He's not quite right up there with Sean Loureiro at the moment, but Sean Olivier there quite up high in the championship standings. We'll be looking at the points after this race, but doing a superb job here in coming home 2nd place. Melvin Gous there, a better race for a change, coming home in 3rd place. And if he does not make a mistake, Jeff Leroux right up there. But look at this, Andrew Stadler now right on the rear bumper, and he is not going to give an inch to let Andrew take that position. But Andrew wants that position, he wants the points. These guys doing absolutely everything they possibly can to try and just get that 1 point extra. As they go into the last lap, Sean Olivier and Loureiro already in the last lap. Just keep an eye on these two guys. The battle is still going on. Janu van der Westhuizen chasing Lyle Ramsey. It's been a battle of sorts for this whole race, swapping positions and going at it all the way. But Andrew Stadler on the last lap. We're just going to follow this one and see what's going to happen. Can Andrew by any means get away past Jeff. Can Jeff keep that BMW wide enough to keep Andrew behind him? That is the million-dollar question. And Sean Loureiro half a lap now to go to bring it to the end. Take yet another victory. First victory yet for Kiza. He already won 2 weekends back at Kailami. And then had his fair share of close racing with Sean Olivier. But doesn't seem like Andrew Stadler at this stage has got any answers to get past Jeff Leroux. Jeff is putting that BMW just in the right place. And look at that, Andrew going super sideways, sliding that Subaru. He is absolutely trying every single trick in the book. And Jeff knows every single one of them by heart. But crossing the finish line here, through the last corner, none other, Sean Loureiro taking the win in the Griffin Racing Subaru GSRT. Superb drive there, see the headlights flashing, well done. Sean Loureiro there, winning the first race. Sean Olivier coming home in second place. Superb drive from him as well. Melvin Gous coming home in third place, closely followed there by Jeff Leroux in fourth, Andrew Stadler in fifth. Mark de Tour is going to come home in sixth place. Wayne Mitten there hangs on to it. He's got Tiaan van Rooyen behind him. Will he keep him behind him? Wayne Mitten racing for the points. He knows he's got that BMW behind him. Tiaan's going to go for a last corner pass. Will he be able to pull it off? Watson covers his bases there. They're side by side as they go over the line, and the BMW just gets the drive. Tiaan van Rooyen takes 7th place. Wayne Mitten 8th place. And then Lyle Ramsey hangs on to it to beat Jana van der Westhuizen. 9th and 10th there by these two guys. Donovan Lowe coming home in 11th place, and Mark Fraser not happy in that Astra on this track, which we've always also seen in Group 2. The Astra especially struggling on this track, and bringing home in 12th place there. As I said, 6 guys actually unable to attend the Group 2 race, being not home and being unable to race, but we should be seeing them all back this weekend. As we cross over to a quick break, we will be back in a couple of minutes, not even. So getting late, and I see the guys are coming in, going off, coming in, going off. Just let me know what the sound is like, guys. I'll be right back. Give me a minute or two.
Announcer bot is active.
Well, guys, welcome back to the final race of the evening. Race 2 for Group 1. 4th race of the evening. We see Wayne Mitten there in the Honda in pole position. We're going to try and get a better view here. Tiaan van Rooyen now lining up in 2nd place. We're going to cross over to this camera for the start. We're going to see Wayne Mitten. Can he get off the line quick? It's a front wheel drive car. They do struggle a bit off the line compared to rear wheel drive, but let's see what happens here. Mark de Toy in 3rd, Andrew Stadler in 4th, Jeff Leroux 5th, Melvin Gous 6th, Sean Olivier 7th, and Sean Loureiro in 8th place. And as they get off the line, you can see Mark de Toy, very fast start there from him. Andrew Stadler already, Wayne Mitten being flabbergasted by these rear drive cars out of the blocks and struggling to get off the line. Tiaan van Rooyen there taking the lead, closely followed there by Andrew Stadler. So fantastic start there by Andrew Stadler. He's side by side with Mark de Toy. Is he going to go for a move on the inside as they go into the right-hander? Yes, Andrew do take advantage of that, and behind them you can see a cluster of cars. That is Wayne Mitten, Sean Olivier, Melvin Gous, Jeff Leroux, Sean Loureiro, all of them battling for position. Sean Olivier almost losing it there with the two Seans side by side, a bit of rubbing there. These guys know how they race. Oh, and we see Sean going ever so slightly off the grass, a bit of contact there between the two guys, unfortunately there for Sean Loureiro, falling way back, so he's going to have to fight his way back. Sean Loureiro not going to be happy with that, from 8th place down to 12th place. This is going to be a very tricky one for him. We see Melvin Gous there having passed Mark de Toy now. Wayne Mitten in 5th place, so keeping the rest of the guys behind him and doing a superb job there. But Tiaan van Rooyen there in the lead at the moment, having pulled off a fantastic start there from 2nd place. 2nd place currently we have Andrew Stadler, 3rd place Melvin Gous, Mark de Toy, and look at that Wayne Mitten on the inside of Mark de Toy. Not sure if there was contact there, but Mark de Toy running wide, and Sean Olivier and Jeff Leroux now side by side as they go through the final corner to end lap 1. These guys are absolutely killing it, and Wayne Mitten is hanging on there up into 4th place in that front wheel drive Honda, and Jano van der Westhuizen also right up there in 7th place with Lyle Ramsey only 2 places back. So I can promise you, and again a bit of argy-bargy there between Olivier and Leroux. These guys are not hanging back, they're pushing and bumping and barging and really pushing it super hard there. Oh, and a bit of contact there. Jeff late on the brakes as there's contact. Sean goes a bit sideways there. Jeff unfortunately left the braking a bit too late there and locked up, running into the side there, but good behavior by both guys. They both hang on to it, and they're still side by side, not giving an inch. But all of this is allowing Sean Loureiro to catch right up. So let's see what happens here. So Sean Loureiro on the outside there of Lyle Ramsey, trying to catch up to these guys. He's got Donovan Lowe and Lyle Ramsey between him, and the massive battle between Jeff Leroux and Sean Olivier, and he's going to be trying to join that battle. and we see Donovan Lowe just touching the curb then. That has allowed Sean Olivier to gain 2 places. He's going to be more than happy with that. So commentator's curse there plays into the hand of Loureiro as he's now right up to that battle for 1st place, and we can see Tiaan van Rooyen at the moment 1.3 seconds ahead of Andrew Stadler. And let's see if he can pull this one on and maintain that position. Melvin Gous there still in 3rd place, Wayne Mitten in 4th, and Jano van der Westhuizen now up into 5th place with Sean Olivier right behind Jano. So let's see what happens here. How is Jano and Sean going to behave as they chase each other going into lap 3 of 13 laps, so 10 laps to go. And these guys absolutely going to the wire to try and make up positions. Wayne Mitten there is going to be happy to see that Jano is coming under some kind of pressure to try and pull a bit of gap, just enough to keep that position. He's currently in 4th place. And Sean Olivier on the outside. Jano pulls out of his way and decides, listen, I don't want to have anything of that Jona Championship battle. I'm not. Go on. And I think he might be doing the same for Jeff Leroux, knowing that these guys are absolutely battling the hairs of each other. See Andrew Stadler there, still trying to catch up, 1.1 seconds now, so he's not falling too far back. It seems like he's maintaining that gap to Tiaan van Rooyen, but these guys having to drive absolutely 110% on the limit to try and keep up. And in the background there you can see Wayne Mitten coming under pressure now from Sean Olivier. The front wheel drives are really struggling on this track. We've seen them competitive on the other tracks, but here they are just not in a happy place. And Jeff Leroux now putting pressure on Jano van der Westhuizen, as is Sean Loureiro putting Jeff under pressure. So let's see what happens here. Sean Olivier up ahead, still behind Wayne Mitten. As they go through here, we can see Jeff and another sandwich again tonight. It's his hamburger night. He's just in the middle of things. And but this is what it's all about. It's having Joel not always running up ahead, but having a dice with everybody and trying to get through the field there. And this is exactly what's happened here. Jano lets Jeff go by, and now he's got Sean Loureiro behind him. What will Jano do in this case? He's going to see if Sean is quicker than him, and he might possibly pull over as well. As he said, he does not want to get involved in messing up the championships. Yes, you can see Jano going wide, and he gets on the brakes. He lets Loureiro pass. He falls into the back, throws him lights, so Sean knows he's in the clear, and Sean now has his sights set on Jeff Leroux there. So at the moment, Andrew Stadler still chasing down Tian van Rooyen. Melvin goes there in third place chasing Andrew Stadler, but that gap is opening up between 3 seconds from third to first, and Olivier 4 seconds behind. So he's managed to pass Wayne, but he's got a lot of catching up to do. So Mr. Olivier, you're going to have to put down the hammer and try and catch up here. Jeff Leroux now coming up to the rear bumper of Wayne Mitten. And as I said, Wayne Mitten, not an easy customer. Very nice guy to race with. Very nice guy in general. But he does not make it easy for you. And Wayne also right up in the running for the championship. He's put in some good races where the rear-wheel drive guys have made mistakes and gone off. The bad thing with the rear-wheel drive cars, once you lose the back end, you lose it completely. And whereas the front-wheel drive is a bit forgiving, Wayne moves out of it, he lets them go, and he falls back in behind Loreto. So he also decides, listen, I don't want to get in your way, battle on, let's get it over with. And he's got Janu now on his rear bumper. And Andrew Stadler has closed that gap to 1 second. So Tian, and again, you can see Andrew absolutely sideways in that Subaru. He's got that car set up super light at the back. And it's working on times, but you can see he is absolutely fighting that car every single race. We saw it in race 1 as well, especially around lap 5, lap 6. It's like he gets a point where the tires scraps off and then it comes back to him, and that's when he starts flying. So let's keep an eye on Andrew. Can he catch up to Tian van Rooyen at all? Melvin goes keeping that gap on 1.5, 1.6 seconds. But Sean Olivier is catching up. On the last lap, he's made up 0.4 seconds, so almost half a second on Melvin Goes, and now Sean Loreto on the rear bumper of Jeff Leroux. So a lot more action currently in this race happening that we saw compared to race 1, where the guys settled down. A lot more racing going on here, and the guys trying to gain as many positions as possibly can. I think Sean Loreto, superb job coming from last after his off in lap 1 right up into 6th place, and he should be happy to just get as high up as he possibly can and bag as many points as he can. Andrew Stadler still 1 second between them, just unable to close that gap. As I said, the guy is so on the limit and so quick that you can't push any harder, you can't go any faster. You're hoping that the guy in front of you actually just makes a mistake or gets into a battle in order for you to try and catch up. As I said, the gap stays there, 1.3, 1.4. Melvin having dropped some time, he's gone down to almost 2 seconds behind Andrew now. But the man on the move, Sean Loreto, he's also dropped some time. So Sean has dropped 3.4 seconds back. He was 2.8 the lap before. So it's that stage where the rear-wheel drives do struggle. But look at the Sean Loreto, we're going to stick with this dice. A superb dice going on here. Sean is trying to get past Jeff, and we've seen in race 1 that Jeff does not let someone get past him quite easily, and Sean having to fight his nuts off to try and get that 5th place away from Jeff Leroux, but Jeff Leroux having none of it and absolutely just going balls to the wall. Oh, and we hear a car going off, not quite sure who that was. You can hear someone trying to rejoin. We'll try and see who that was. The car of Sean Olivier. So I think Sean might have just touched the curb there. We just heard the car in the background and then saw the dust. So unfortunately, Olivier has gone from 3rd place, catching Melvin Goes, right down to 8th place. And, well, there's half a race left. If he puts his head down, he might be able to get back into the points. As at this stage, that is going to be the only one that's going to be his main concern, to try and get as many points as he possibly can. But that rear tires will be cooking now, and he is going to have his hands full in this Rebel Racing Subaru. But rest assured, he will not back out of it, he will not quit, and he will drive as hard as that car can possibly carry him. But back up ahead, Sean Loreto still driving the wheels of that GSRT Subaru, trying to get past Jeff Leroux. Jeff once again saying, nope, it ain't happening, not if I can help it. And Jeff absolutely doing everything, but Sean goes on the inside there, right there, mirror to mirror, bit of contact there, all in great spirit, side by side. Jeff now has got the inside line for the next corner. Sean wisely backs out of it, but he's going to try and line Jeff up for the back straight. If he can get any kind of drive there, he might be in for a chance to pass the Subaru, but that BMW super strong on the straights. What can Sean do? You can hear him using the torque of that Subaru, trying to get some drive out of it. It does seem like he might have something in it, but Jeff covers the line there. Sean goes on the outside. They're going to run side by side as they go through the fast-hander, right-hander. They're still side by side, giving enough room to each other. Oh, and is Sean going to go for the undercut? Sean on the inside there of Jeff. No, it backs out of it. Jeff just covers the line there. A superb race going on here, guys, but they are losing a lot of time. They've lost about 8 seconds to Melvin Ghost now, so this is purely a battle for 4th place at the moment, unless one of the front guys goes off and they manage to catch up to them. Anlu Stadler has now fallen back 2 seconds from Tiaan van Rooyen. Tiaan van Rooyen still leading the race. Melvin Ghost 1.6 behind Andrew. Jeff Leroux here, as on the screen, 8.6 seconds, with Sean Loureiro doing everything he possibly can. Sean Olivier there now, coming through. Wayne Mitten moving out of the way. And so Sean has managed to move up into 6th place. So he's back into the points. Some respectable points. Not losing, I think, 1 or 2 points towards Loureiro. So not losing a lot of ground here on the championship basis. But yeah, he's lost out big time, falling from 4th place right down to where he is now 6th place. And 6 seconds between him and Loureiro, unless something weird happens. I don't think Olivier will be able to catch up here, but this is sim racing. Sorry for that. Anything can happen, and let's see what happens. As I said, closest battle at the moment here. Wayne Mitten, Janne van der Westhuizen has also, during that move where Wayne has gone off onto the grass, so not sure what happened to Wayne, but he's lost the position to Janne van der Westhuizen. So Janne now up into 7th place, and Wayne into 8th place. So, and look at, and we have lost Tiaan van Rooyen. Tiaan van Rooyen has gone off. So while we were following the battle between Wayne Mitten and Janne van der Westhuizen, Tiaan van Rooyen has gone off and he's lost 2 places. So new race leader at this stage, Andrew Stadler, is now leading the pack, and quite comfortably with Melvin Ghost 1.6 seconds behind him. Tiaan van Rooyen now 1 second behind Melvin Ghost, so he's going to really be pushing very hard to try and make up a position there. And 0.2 between these two guys, they are still at it. It's been like this from the beginning of the race, and they're not one of them giving an inch. Sean Olivier, Sean Loureiro there, and Jeff Leroux side by side through yet another corner. Jeff not backing out of it. He gets onto the power, but I think Sean might have this one here. Yes, Jeff unfortunately unable to keep Sean at bay for a lap longer. Can Loureiro now pull away from Leroux, or is it going to be a battle to the end? We're going to have to keep our eyes on this one. Sean Olivier still maintaining that gap on 5.7. In the points, unfortunately, we saw him, we just saw the background of where he spun out, and on the recovery run, but still maintaining 6th place. And look at this, Jeff is on the bumper there. He's not giving up. Jeff has decided he is not going to give up at all. And Tiaan van Rooyen also closing the gap on Melvin Ghost there. So Tiaan 0.9 now behind him. Melvin Ghost still 2 seconds behind Andrew Stadler. Andrew just maintaining that gap. He's going to be more than happy, having finished 4th in race 1, 4th or 5th, I'm not sure, I can't remember now, and taking a win here if all goes as planned. He is going to be super excited. And Tiaan van Rooyen now within half a second from Melvin Ghost. So very close battle here, but Jeff Leroux and Sean Loureiro still at it. But it does seem like Sean is pulling a slight gap over Jeff. Not sure if the tyres are starting to play a role here, if tiredness is starting to play a role here. I can tell you though that Jeff is a lot older than Sean, so Sean will have a lot more stamina, whereas old Jeff Leroux, as I would like to call him, will be blasting and huffing and puffing at this stage and hanging onto that wheel for dear life. But as they've another half a lap finished, lap 10 of 13, these guys are absolutely giving it their utmost all. And look at that, bumper to bumper. This is the dice of the evening, I do believe. Side by side, can Jeff regain that position? They go side by side through there, leave enough room. Sean is going to go for the undercut. Can he pull it off? Sean is going to go. He's going to go outbreak him. Yes, Jeff leaves just about enough room. They're side by side on the power. Both of the cars slide. That's the problem with the rear wheel drives. You can't get on the power too quick. Jeff on the inside here, but Sean not backing out of it. They're still side by side. And absolutely fantastic dice here at the moment, guys. Jeff on the inside for the next corner. And Sean just decides, nah, I'm going to get my position back. Now Jeff's got to work all over for it again. This is the best dice I've seen in a long time. These guys absolutely superb close racing by the two of them. Sean Leroux, Jeff Leroux putting on a show, battling here. Fourth and fifth place. Oh, and unfortunately Jeff overplays his hand there. Will this allow... That does allow Sean Olivier to pass him. So, sadly, in the closing stages of the race, I did not expect that. Bad luck there, Jeff. As I said, maybe tiredness. Definitely not the lack of driver skill. Surely tiredness. But, yeah, Sean Leroux now quite some distance behind, but he's in fourth place. Sean up into fifth place. Jeff Leroux down into sixth place. Janne van der Westhuizen, fantastic race by him, in seventh place. Ahead of Mark du Toit there in eighth place. Niall Ramsey unable to keep up with Janne in this race, coming through in ninth place there. Wayne Mitten unfortunately seems like he's been struggling this race and down to 10th place, with Donovan Lowe and Mark Fraser in 11th and 12th respectively. But Tiaan van Rooyen, and it seems like Tiaan has lost a bit of ground there to Melvin Gous. Melvin to trying to catch up to Andrew Stadler at the moment, but Andrew absolutely flying that Subaru. The gap is staying 1.8, 1.9. It's not coming down. Tiaan van Rooyen was down as low as 1 second, but it's gone up to 1.5 seconds again. So at this stage, the penultimate lap, 2 laps to go. We're not going to hear the fat lady sing just yet. This is a tricky car to drive. This is a tricky class, and we have seen way too many times things go haywire in the closing stages, and we will be keeping our eyes on this, just checking out the lap times. And Mark du Toit seems like he is catching up to Janne van der Westhuizen, so this is also a little battle evolving here in the last 2 laps. But Andrew Stadler, man of the moment, currently in the lead. 1.5 laps to go. What is going to happen here? 2.2 seconds between him and second place man Gous. Down the back straight there, superb job. Tiaan van Rooyen has managed to close the gap down to 1.1 seconds again, so he gets through phases where he's very quick, and then he seems to be losing some time again. Or there is or Melvin might be getting in some quick lap times and then make mistakes. Not quite sure what's happening here, but Tiaan has managed to close the gap down to 0.8 of a second. And Mark du Toit now 0.2 behind Janne van der Westhuizen, as they also on their penultimate lap going last 2 more corners before they start their last lap. And Mark du Toit absolutely putting a lot of pressure here on Janne van der Westhuizen. We see up ahead there, battle for second place. Tiaan van Rooyen now 0.6, 0.7 behind Melvin Gous. We're going to stick with this one. We'll keep our eyes on Mark du Toit and Janne van der Westhuizen. It's 0.6 on the last lap as they go. Both cars putting it over the curb there, so these guys are using the track in a bit more. Can Tiaan van Rooyen make any kind of impact there on Melvin Gous? What's going to happen? It's 0.6. He has clocked in that gap and he is pushing really, really hard to try and take that second position away. He was leading, made a mistake, spun out and rejoined, so trying to fight his way back. Mark du Toit and Janne van der Westhuizen side by side there, absolutely nail-biting stuff here. Oh, and he runs wide, so Janne loses that one there. Back to the battle for second place. They've got 3 more corners to go. Can Melvin hang on to this? 2 more corners to go. You can see the Subaru coming a bit sketchy here and there. Andrew Stadler has got this one in the back. Oh, and Melvin nearly loses it. Goes sideways. Can Tiaan van Rooyen benefits from this? He's on the rear bumper, diving on the inside into the last corner on the last lap. They're side by side. Who's going to get the power down? It is side by side. They finished the race 0.1 seconds apart. Tian just losing out there on second place. Sean Loureiro there coming home in fourth place. Sean Olivier bringing it home in fifth place. A very unfortunate Jeff Leroux coming home in sixth place, but still the points are there, my friend. Mark de Toy having put in a lot of pressure on Jana van der Westhuizen brings it home in seventh place. Jana recovering to take eighth place. Lyle Ramsey in ninth place. Donovan Lowe managed to pass Wayne Mitten. I think Wayne might have some car damage. 10th place there for Donovan. Wayne Mitten takes it home in 11th place, with Mark Fraser coming home in 12th place. So there you have it, guys. Another event done and dusted. 36 entries. We had to split the field in half. Unfortunately, we had some guys that did not make it, so most likely for this weekend coming up we will see 30 cars on the grid again. One class 2 races, very close racing. Also working on a sort of penalty system for the rear wheel drive cars to see them a bit more a bit less competitive and a bit more in the grabbing hands off the front wheel drives. We are keeping tabs on the live timings and working out and calculating what we're going to do. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week. As I said, hopefully I'll have my co-commentators back. Got a sore throat, gonna go eat now and then head to bed. Guys, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed the racing. Hope you enjoyed the new timing system. It does help me a lot with the commentating, even though my mouth still gets blah blah blah. But yeah, have a good one, have a good week, and we will all see you at the next race. Ciao, bye.